We flipped a coin and I got to give the talk today. So I'm going to talk a lot about the same things that Dr. Nagy talked, but in a slightly different way. And since I'm a team player, I'll do my best to get us back on time here. So a little bit more about the CFAR Developmental Core Peer Mentorship Program. So first, everyone in the room here is already CFAR enlightened. We are here because we know the CFAR exists and we know what it does. So the CFAR here promotes the collaboration and coordination of AIDS-related research by supporting the scientific needs of the basic and clinical research community at Duke. So you know that because you're here. If you don't, and by the end of the day, you'll know all the wonderful things the CFAR can do for you. But the problem is that although this conference today is really well attended, we're still a pretty small part of the larger Duke research community. So in fact, what we have on campus is a lot of people like this. We have a lot of people that are doing wonderful work, but they just don't really know how to find all these extra resources to really help them succeed. And another group of people that we're trying to target are these folks. These are people that are out there looking at all the NIH funding opportunities, and they're seeing all these wonderful grant opportunities for people involved in HIV research, but they're maybe not doing that and don't know if they can actually break into the field. So those are kind of the problems that we're trying to address. The CFAR Developmental Core, it provides key resources to promising early career HIV investigators, hoping to support their transition from mentee to independent investigator. And we're encouraging investigators, regardless of their career stage, so there is a focus for early career, but regardless of your career stage, from other fields to pursue HIV research. And the best avenues to promote these resources university-wide to get at those people that are not here today have been unclear. So yeah, we have a problem, and the CFAR leadership talked about this, and the solution they came up with so far that we're trying is us. So the CFAR Peer Mentoring and Outreach Program. So this is all of us, myself, Tiarney Ritchwood, and Dr. Lance Okeke. So we're all have different specialties. So I'm shown here in my serious professor costume, but I'm representing the basic science and translational science group. Dr. Ritchwood, she's our SBS person. She's an assistant professor in family medicine here at Duke, newly hired in 2018. And I think most of you know Lance, who's representing the medical side of our focus group. So all of us have some experience in getting grants, being awarded NIH grants and funding opportunities. And you'll see more from Lance today because he is a CFAR pilot grant recipient. So our goal is to kind of be your peers and to be your connection point. We are here to promote the awareness of CFAR resources among early career HIV investigators. So the idea is you heard from Dr. Nagy today how she's interacting with all the different levels of leadership at Duke to bring the CFAR core and partnerships. We are not the leadership. We are down more at peer level. So they're doing all the upper level stuff. We're down here, hopefully accessible to you. And I think hopefully most of the people in this room know who we are. Now you have our pictures. If you didn't know who we are, we did a bad job of picking peers, but I think we represent the vast group of you here. We're trying to increase the number of successful grant proposals from early career HIV researchers by maximizing utilization of the CFAR Developmental Core resources prior to competition for extramural funding. So we are here to help you take that next step. Our other goal is to increase awareness of the CFAR across Duke, so particularly to non-HIV investigators with skill sets, resources that are complementary to Duke's CFAR research agenda. We're trying to develop a framework for collaborative interface between CFAR members and non-HIV investigators to promote this team science. So again, trying to build that outreach and to find people that aren't involved, that want to be involved, that can be involved. And in jargon, this is to increase the number of category 2, 3, and 4 investigators in the Duke CFAR. And these are people that either have R01 funding but are not in HIV, or just have some NIH funding but are not in HIV, or really haven't been funded yet and really need a lot of help getting into this. So again, what we're really trying to do is put you on a road where if you don't have pilot money, if you need Ames page help, if you need samples, if you need collaborators, we want to get you off that path and get you into the CFAR Developmental Core. Because once you're with us, if you interact with the Developmental Core, the idea is that you're going to get funded. So this should lead to success for everyone. And remember, success for all of the researchers out there is success for the CFAR. So this is a whole team that we're bringing together here. So how are we thinking of accomplishing this? Well, this is a new endeavor, and to be fair, we've only had a few meetings and discussed some ideas on how we're going to do this, make this happen. But one of our focuses is going to be outreach. So we are all here presenting today. Everyone's here attending the CFAR. What we want to try and do is bring the CFAR to other groups. So our plan as peer mentors is to bring CFAR Developmental Core resources to large forums that cater to young investigators. So what we're trying to do is we're going to go out to other groups on campus, groups that are underrepresented in the CFAR, and we're going to try and wiggle our way in and give some presentations and provide some information about the Duke Developmental Core. We've also talked a little bit and are kind of developing the final idea for this of having a Shark type funding mechanism for innovative collaborations in HIV research. So that's something to look forward to in the future. We're kind of hashing out the details of how that would be accomplished. And then, of course, other things like mixtures between early career investigators and CFAR staff, just to try to build these partnerships and to get some types of relationships being built. But we're always open to ideas. So again, we're your peers. We should be easy to find. Find us if you have suggestions on how we can really improve our strategy or other ideas that can help us build a stronger CFAR developmental core. And right now, what we're really doing first in this first iteration is we're going to start local. So we're all parts of different groups and teams here at Duke already. So in my world of basic translational research, I'm part of the Duke Human Vaccine Institute, I'm part of the Center for Virology, and I interact with the Transplant Immunology group. So those are 3 groups right away that we can make sure are familiar with all the CFAR. Dr. Ritchwood, she's part of the Center for Child and Family Policy, Social Science Research Institute, and the Center for Study of Aging and Human Development. So again, these are groups that she will already be interacting with and just building that CFAR exposure through them. And Dr. Okeke, he's involved in the Center for Research to Advance Health Equity. This is the REACH Equity program at Duke, the Population and Health Science Institute, and Institute for Health Innovation. So ideally, we already have our fingers into some groups that we can actually use those connections to start expanding the exposure of the CFAR Developmental Core. But what we really want to do after that, after we build locally, is outreach into larger groups within Duke and to some of our fellow universities in the Triangle area. So again, within Duke, reaching out to REACH Equity, the Institute for Health Innovation, Population Sciences, these are strategic targets for us to get into. But also, we have a lot of fellow investigators at Central, A&T, and NC State that we would like to see if they would be interested in being part of this, of being connected to some of the CFAR resources to build some new partnerships and collaborations. I already have on my calendar for the winter a presentation at NC State, so hopefully we'll start getting that initiated pretty early. And the idea, again, is, we have the leadership of Dr. Nagy and Dr. Statz. They are amazing developmental core leaders, and they just may not seem accessible to you, although they are. So if you're someone who wants to ask for help but doesn't want to start at the top, ask a friend, and that's what we're here for. We're your peers. We can help get you connected to the resources you need. And at the same time, we're going to be going out, doing a lot of this outreach, but please don't hesitate to come to us. So we're going to be reaching out, but please find us. If you have a question about what the CFAR can do for you, how the Developmental Core can help you, how we can help you in any kind of peer mentoring success, just contact us, email us, call us, corner us in a hallway, whatever. We are here to help connect you to the resources offered by the CFAR. And we also can help you connect you to other Duke University resources. For that, we really just kind of start leaning on Dr. Nagy and Dr. Statz. But again, we should be your first point of contact if you have some questions. So again, that's our goals. That's what we plan to do. And just find us if you think you have other suggestions, and let me know how we can help.